everyone, this is Claire, and I'm going to go over a few tips that's helped with the loading and unloading of transport. So one of the things I found helpful is having a little caddy with all of your supplies ready to go. It just speeds things up quite a bit. I like to have sanitizer, also disinfectant wipes, but if you don't have them, you can just use paper towels and a disinfectant spray. If you're low on paper towels, you can just use a regular towel and just make sure to spray between each surface. And then last but not least, I really like to have lots of leashes. And then if you don't have a long line, you can securely have your leashes connected to each other, just like this. And so that's gonna help you keep over a 6-foot distance with other people. Okay, so this scenario is if you are loading or unloading a transport and you've got a transport coordinator that's handling all the intake, checking microchips, putting collars on the dogs, but then you also have a runner that's helping you take the dogs out of the kennel. So usually we would get close and hand off the leash, but we can't do that anymore. So this is a way you can do it. You can also do this with slip leads, but we definitely recommend using either a nice secure flat collar or ideally a martingale collar. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open her kennel. Notice her name is on here, everything's organized, makes things much easier. I'm gonna open her kennel. Hi, sweet girl. I then can put a collar on her here. Back, back, back. And then I can, with my imaginary scanner, I can scan her for microchip. And then I've got her number, I can confirm who she is. Come on. There we go. And then for good measure, I'm going to sanitize where I've touched here. And then also if I've touched the leash at all, I can take this, sanitize this real good. And then what I'm gonna do, I've confirmed that's her. She's ready to go to her foster. I'm gonna step away from the kennel. Okay. And now the handler can come. He's our runner, and he can then take Nakona out to her foster. Okay, so this scenario is probably the most simple scenario where you're not handing off the dog and you just have your runner that's the main person going in and out of the kennels, taking the dogs in and out of the kennels. So it's really important with transport, make sure everybody is labeled here, so we've got her name. And I'm gonna take Nakona out. I've got the transport coordinator that's over 6 feet away from me, doing all the coordination. So I'm gonna take her out of her kennel. Here she goes. Woo! And for good measure, I can sanitize, wipe where I've touched on the kennel. All right, and then I'm gonna take my imaginary scanner here and I'm gonna scan her. All right, and it looks like this is Nakona 343. I'm gonna ask my transport coordinator. Again, we're not very close.
Yep, that's Nakona, and she's going to foster parent P.W. Herman.
Okay, great. So she's going to foster P.W. Herman, and I'm gonna take Nakona. We don't have to be close to each other, and I'm gonna take her right to her foster. Come on. Forehand. And this scenario is basically assuming that I'm the one unloading and there's somebody else that's a runner that's taking them to their foster or to their kennel. So first thing, ideally you have a martingale collar or a secure collar on your dogs before. So I'm gonna put that on her. And then I know somebody is gonna be touching this clip part. So I am gonna disinfect this clip piece before I put her on the ground. Come on, Tommy. Oh, you ready? All right. And she is attached. You'll see if you have a long line, those are really helpful. This is just a bunch of leashes securely connected to each other, so you can use that too.
Okay, once I have my dog connected to the long line, I've already disinfected the clip because I know the runner will be touching this right after me. I can then let the dog go to the runner, or I can step away from the dog if they're not moving to provide distance between me and that other person. Once the dog goes to the runner, they will then clip their leash onto the collar and unclip the long line. They can then take the dog where he or she needs to go. And then don't forget to sanitize the leash clips, and everyone sanitizes their hands before handling the next dog. Okay, the load up process is very much the same, just in reverse. The runner will then be disinfecting that leash clip if you're using a long line. And remember, this is if you're using 2 people. You could just have the runner put the dogs directly into the kennel. The dog will then go to the person, or the runner can step away. The load person will then unclip the long line, clip their leash on, and then you can load your dog into the vehicle. So this scenario is if you're loading up cats or small dogs and you're using 2 people. The runner will then disinfect the handle that they touched and then step away from the pet carrier. The person loading up transport will then just touch the handle and be able to put that dog or cat into the transport vehicle. The unloading of carriers is the same, just in reverse, and again, this is assuming you're using 2 people to unload transport. The person unloading will disinfect the handle and then step away from the carrier, and then the person picking up the dog or cat will pick up the carrier and go on their way.